Hi everyone. Do you experience pain in your hips or low back due to sciatica? Does it get so bad sometimes that you feel like you can barely move or sit? Back your leg down into your glute, back of the knee? Do you have pain that radiates down your hips into your back? If this sounds like you, join me now for a class where I'm gonna guide you through a series of exercises that will help strengthen your hips to help reduce that sciatica. Also, we're gonna throw in a bonus stretch during this session, okay? That's gonna help give you even more relief in this process. Some of these exercises will be performed on the ground. So if you have trouble getting down onto the floor, please feel free to simply perform these exercises on a couch or a bed instead. The only equipment that you're going to need for this exercise class is a chair, a resistance band if you have one, your progress journal so you can record your outcomes, right? We need to do so. You can download that in the description box below, by the way, okay? And simply your best effort. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel and give us a like after the video if you enjoyed the content. Please also take some time to comment in the comment box below, letting us know where you're watching from, what your symptoms are, what you're struggling with, because we really want to make sure we're catering these future videos to you and your needs. What's up, YouTube? Let's jump into this exercise series for sciatica, right? So if you're having pain into that hip, that glute, this is going to help. The first exercise is going to be a push-up. The reason we're doing a push-up in a sciatic series is because we want to get oxygenated blood flow coursing through the body, warm things up, okay? This is going to be an isometric or a metabolic set. It's going to work your triceps, the back of your arms, shoulders, your chest. Just give your best effort, okay? That's the most important thing. Just a quick shout out to Takashi, Ayani, Howlin Wolf Club, Eric, Mel, Rose, Robin, DM, Nagami, Andre, all of the members of the hashtag Take the Fight to the Muscle Club. So glad that you all have joined us. Thank you for the support. Hope you're loving the exercise. Leave me a comment below or private message us so we can connect with you if you have any questions. Let us know. Let's go ahead and jump into the exercise. Again, going to be an isometric set. So wrists, elbows, shoulders aligned, nose out over fingertips. We're going to go to a starting position. That's either going to be up, ankles flexed, weight back on heels, pelvis tucked, slight bend, or you can go from your knees, okay? Hips down. Key here is to be challenging yourself, but at the same time, allowing your muscles to engage. Clock is on. Slight bend. Now, the entire time, whether you have your knees on the ground or you're all the way up in this push-up position, make sure you're thinking about actively engaging, meaning you're trying to wrinkle the mat underneath your nose the entire time. You're gonna feel your chest and your shoulders actively engage at a much higher level. Nose, if it were to fall off your face, should go out over the fingertips, okay? Obviously, we don't want your nose falling off, but it's just a visual cue to allow you to make sure that you're stacking shoulders, elbows, wrists aligned, and you're forward with your weight. Now, the goal is muscle failure here. That's the difference between exercise and movement. You're challenging yourself, okay? So when you get to the point where you cannot continue with proper form, you slowly disengage, notate the time on the clock above me, and then notate that. Write it down in your progress journal after the exercise set. We're getting ready to pass into the 60-second mark, right? Or past the 60-second mark, into what we call the exhaust range. Notice my heart rate is up. Yours is more than likely up as well too. There is a cardiovascular component to exercise, to steady pace, right? Because we're creating great metabolic demand on the body. Tuck that pelvis, which is your hips. See my rear end here, tuck, tuck, tuck. Belly button towards spine, every breath out. We're in the, what we call exhaust range, the final 30 seconds. That's where if this exercise is an appropriate difficulty to give you the best results, you'll reach muscle failure, okay? No more than 9 seconds. Slight bend, shake is natural. Actively engaging, no more than 4, best effort. 3, 2, and disengage. Woo! Grab your progress journal, right? If you need to print one off, we provide one in the description box below. Don't hesitate to do so. Write down, right? So I made it to 130. I'm gonna circle the plus, push up. I need to increase the difficulty next time. If you reached muscle failure and you couldn't continue without disengaging the entire time, you would simply notate the time and then just jump back in and keep giving your best effort for the remainder. And then write down that time that you reached muscle failure successfully on your progress journal at the end so that you know what your difficulty needs to be next time in order to prompt the best results. All right. Now, speaking of sciatica, okay, let's go into the exercise that's gonna directly impact sciatica, okay, which is your hip bridge. Now, as I mentioned, if you need to execute this on a bed, a couch, some type of a massage table, something like that, because it's tough for you to get on the ground. Don't hesitate to do so, okay? Most important thing is that we're targeting the muscles here. All right, we're gonna go into a hip bridge. Your feet, heel's gonna be slightly in front of the knee, shoulder width, knees slightly flared, rest head to ground. Push through heels, raise hips into the air. Clock is on. Extending hips. We are targeting hamstrings, back of the thigh, glutes, and erectors, okay? Muscles either side of the spine. Pelvis is slightly tucked, flare knees, push through heels, and actively squeeze your rear end and lift. What this is doing is increasing oxygenated blood flow to the hips, and it's also gonna help strengthen the glutes. It's gonna help strengthen that piriformis, the muscle that's in the hip, okay? Which when you add a pliable nature or strength to the muscles, then they're not as tight, which then that tissue doesn't put pressure on the sciatic nerve, thus relieving pressure, okay? As I mentioned earlier, we're gonna throw in a bonus stretch here in a second after we do this to lengthen things back out. But right now we are focusing on exercising the posterior chain. So squeeze, glutes, elevate. We're seeking muscle failure, right? So what we want to get to is the point where you cannot keep your hips all the way up. You should feel a deep burn right now. If your hamstring cramps, simply take hips down, extend leg out. Cramp goes away, go back in. But remember to notate that time, okay? When you reach momentary muscle failure, whether that's because the hamstrings cramp because neurologically they're just not apt yet or not, okay? Notate the time, be measured, don't judge yourself, just give your best effort. We're already in the last 30 seconds, right? We have no more than about 6 more seconds to just take what the body allows you to have, push through heels, squeeze, lift, engage, 2 more seconds, 1 more second, slowly lower and relax, disengage. Another thing, if you felt your knees wobbling, right, during the exercise, feel free to put hands on the lateral side, okay? If you have questions about it, if something doesn't feel right, throw a comment in the box below so we can get you dialed in, okay? I completed the entirety of the set. I'm gonna write a plus next to the bridge so that I know I'm going to increase the difficulty next time. Now, if you don't understand how to increase the difficulty of either the push-up or the bridge, again, please leave a comment in the box below. You can always use a band, a resistance band, to load not only the hips, but also the push-up as well. The most important thing in increasing the difficulty or the progression is just simply challenging the muscle with more resistance, okay? Whether that's a band, whether that's a dumbbell, a vest, whatever it may be. It's increasing that challenge progressively, meeting your body where it's at. That's gonna lead to the best results. Now that we've executed the exercises, let's jump into a sciatic stretch. We're literally going to stretch the piriformis. Now, if you want to do this on the ground, please feel free to do so. You can take a seat, but you could also do it in a chair. 2 different ways to execute this stretch, okay? You can either come across, if you have the flexibility, bring ankle across knee, and you're gonna immediately feel it into that glute, okay? So let me give you this visual here, okay? You're gonna immediately feel it into this hip, right? Ankle is across the knee so that you have support into the ankle. You're gonna sit tall, chest comes up, rotate, and you're gonna take your chest down towards that knee, opposite knee. You're gonna take left hand back of the knee and bring knee in towards chest. Now, if you're not flexible enough yet to bring your opposite foot up onto the knee, you can always execute this stretch progressively, meaning you're gonna cross targeted side, across ankle, attempt to slide up as high as you can, and do the same thing form-wise. Rotate, posture, lean in, and you should immediately feel a stretch in that area, okay? So let's go ahead and just do it for 30 seconds. Take your body, what your body allows you to have for the form that you can execute comfortably. Clock is on. So I'm leaning in, I immediately feel a stretch into my hip here, piriformis, which is going to alleviate pressure off of the sciatic nerve, okay? You should not feel pain in your low back. And we're not forcing this stretch, okay? This is just a relaxing, breathing, leaning in, okay? This can also be executed lying on your back, okay? Executing the same figure 4. Most PTs have probably showed you this stretch before. It is a wonderful stretch to alleviate tightness and pressure into that sciatic area. slowly easing out, sitting tall. You can lengthen things and head back in, okay? So I suggest executing this stretch 30 to 45 seconds on each side. You can do this 2 to 3 times a day. You don't have to only do this after the exercises. This is something that can be used as an active rest modality as well. You know, morning time, midday, in the evening if you start to feel discomfort in that hip glute. If you like the video, please give us a like, right? Let us know where you're from. Let us know what your symptoms are, what you're working on, so that we can make sure we're targeting these videos with content that's going to allow you to develop the best results possible. And as I was mentioning earlier, if you have curiosity about the steady pace technique and MS workouts, you can always join the Take the Fight to the Muscles fan club. We do monthly live Q&As. We also have give you access to full body fundamental exercise classes that have a little bit more volume. We also have focuses that are attached to those as well too. And then last but not least, y'all know msworkouts.com is where you can find me and the team for any needs that you may have. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at our next exercise class. If you want to get into a more structured and regimented program that can help you gain more control of your symptoms, then you should join our Take the Fight to the Muscles workout club. Now, by joining, you will receive access to an exclusive seated full body fundamentals workout class that updates every 2 weeks, stretch classes to help you alleviate tightness and spasticity, access to our 2 most popular Focus On series for foot drop and hip flexors, plus bonus Q&As with myself each month where I can answer your questions about exercise in MS. Click the join button below this video to learn more information about the Take the Fight to the Muscles workout club and to see which plan works best for you. I'll see you all next week.